Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. This is the continuation of Business Marketing Unit 5, and the next topic is team selling. So, what do you mean by that? So, team selling is a sales strategy that involves two plus members, okay, of an organization which is working together to win a business. So, for example, this marketing, sales, and sales support may collaborate to close the major accounts. So, this team selling is a fundamental aspect of an account-based sales. So, why you should try team selling? So because sell to a committee with a team. So which means there are a number of big factors at the play for a sales representative, which makes a team selling more attractive than even before. For first, buying cycles continue to involve more people, so which is hardware business review. So each person on the buying committee comes with her or his own expertise and set of unique experiences. So because each person is viewing the salesperson from a different perspective. Excuse me. So this was mainly known as each person on a buying committee comes with their own his expertise and set of unique experiences. So because each person is viewing the sales from a different perspective, so they are likely evaluating a solution, how it impacts their day to day. It's important that you relate to your products to their area. Okay, if these points have not convinced you yet, check out the research. So the showed in having at least one call contains multiple participants from the seller organizations. And the second one, this problem solving is a team sport because it's another factor is core nature of a sale. So the problem solving as a sales representative, your job is to solve every problem yourself, but rather to get your problems you encounter you solved. So based on this, selling software is more complicated than ever before. So you are working in a climate where products are complex. So there's a ton of information available to prospects, and your products like in competes needs integrates with a variety of other third party technologies. So if you are selling in a marketing technology space, you know the problem you are solving might also include other vendors in the industry. So this team selling allows for your organization to unleash its institution knowledge, which in turn makes for a better buying experiences. And then third one is self assessment versus team assessment. Self assessment versus team means, have you ever walked out a meeting feeling like you did everything right? So this is down at a keyboard because having teammate in your meetings gives you an opportunity to observe while they speak to vice versa. So they can look up information on a specific feature or a question while you clarify the reasons behind and ask. So the phrase two is better than one because but for a lot of sales organization it is ignored. So the last and favorite part of having teammates in the room is immediate feedback. So once the meeting is over, your teammates can give you a direct feedback on your performance, the key insights you might have missed, so the reaction from people around the room, and the information is a critical of a self improvement and nailing the follow up and creating an overall better experience for your prospective customers. Then, how to implement a team selling? Okay, how to implement? So, first one is if you are an individual contributor. So, because start a building a relationship with your co-workers in your departments. Imagine you have already done of being social butterfly you are. So once you have a people you know and trust, ask them to join calls when their expertise is relevant. So this is personally, I will buy lunch for any of my teammates who join a sales call with me. So who doesn't like a free lunch? So before the call, make sure you give a teammate context in the situation and the specific task or talking points you would like them to cover. So here is a great checklist. The first one is a who are we meeting with. So include information about the company they work for and their role, and where are they in the decision process, and key use cases they are evaluating. So how do they plan on using the products? So why are you planning on using our products? What benefits do they expect to receive from our products? So what topics are you covering on a call? So where you would like your teammate to contribute and why. This is a great opportunity to not for only inform your coworker but also show them the deep respects you have for their expertise and importance to have them join you. And the next one, if you are a sales leader, so you need to understand if your annual contract value. So you have to analyze revenue per customer contract. So can support team selling, while team selling can help in many selling environments. So not all sales require team efforts. A good rule of thumb is normally benefit from a team selling. So with this said, you know the business is better than any blogger or a thought leader. Under this, the steps are follows. Okay, align activities with the incentives. So make sure everyone has skin in the game. So and by the skin in the game, I mean pay everyone involved when their efforts lead into net new revenue. And the next one, determine who your leader is. So this is the mostly commonly salesperson, but this could also happily partnership or any other person acting as a lead of a project. So make sure everyone knows their role. Okay. And customer success. So in this customer, explain the customer's onboarding process. So what required from both parties of successful working relationships, and instill trust in your ability to create a great outcomes of our customers. And the next one is sales engineering. So take a prospective customer on a deep dive through platform with the goal of displaying usability initiative of the UI. And then finally, product. So walk the customer's prospects through the roadmap to ensure they have an understanding of where our company focus lies. So build a process that can be documented, tracked, scaled. I think we all know the famous Peter Drucker. Okay, so he said it bears repeating. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. Because start with Excel and Google Sheets. Track who's joining, what their roles are, and how the conversation went. Qualitative data, if okay here. And lastly, what the outcome is. Did the opportunity progress a stage? So by this, the steps are nice. The steps are over, and the next one is effort orientation of team selling. Okay. So this effort orientation mainly known as which allows to keep the distance when the lookout is not clear. So dealing with the uncertainty, just doing the work and adapt when you need it, and raising a child. So which gives a motivation and satisfaction even if not nothing can be finished in short run. So it is easier to keep habit of running. So when the important fact is just do it, then reach a certain speed or a body shape in a gown given amount of time. So it is crucial for a creativity with exploration in front of the white page just right, but can lead to a lot of wasted work. So without results. So working can go off track very easily, and creates over exertion through efforts escalation. So even in calm periods, so long working hours may become the norms and tends to be insufficient no matter what the task may be. A lot of efforts have to be put into it. So life shows that both are useful in different time. So whatever your preference is, it is wise to influence a little bit of the other to adapt to different situations. So through the past years, I have found out the switching to an effort oriented mind can be readily helpful at a certain times when I have nothing in particular to do yet, so need work. When I want to keep up work out a habit, so say habit simply when I do my job according to ICF decisions. This coaching is partnering with the clients in the thought provoking creative process and inspires them to maximize the personal and professional potentials. So while the client set up a goal achieve, the coach is responsible for the inspiring process, which the closer to the means and efforts than to the goal oriented mindset. And the next one is the philosophy of an entrepreneur. So because the values, philosophies, ideas which are important. Okay. So this according to John. Okay. John Stuart Mill. Oh, he said the representative government. So it is what men think that determine how they act. So, based on ideology, this can be caused by wars, hatred, death, prosperity. As such, it is very important for each human to analyze their own ideology. So to not without a question pick up the religion, economic, political views like that. Okay, and truly know what they do for what they would or would not sacrifice. Surely there are many questions to be answered in determining one's economic philosophy. Personally, I am believer of a competitive market economics and a potential of a human spirits. So this competitive market economy has been able to develop largely due to the development of the philosophy. Okay, and the next one is on liberalization, liberalism. Okay, so this is today that it is sprang as a reaction to the two of the characteristic features of a medieval society of a Europe, because the religious conformity outcome status the reaction took place in different times in different places. By the early 19th century, however, the liberalism wanted a freedom of religion and separation of a church and states. So these ideas were diametrically opposed to the thinking of the Middle Ages. Okay, so this liberalism is the core of what I believe. I firmly, which wholehearted believe in a freedom of religion, separation of equality and opportunity for all humans. So the government has created the constraint of a government and its main role as to provide a security. And the next one is the case for the competitive market economy. So because in many cases, surely there is not. Okay, this is the case study of a competitive marketing. So why this means, for example, okay, a white child born to the wealthy family is likely to grow up a good neighborhood, to go to the good primary and secondary schools, to private ones, be cared for both parents, be encouraged to the college, have his child college paid, and be provided a car, house, good job upon graduation, received a large sum him upon parents pausing. Then poor minority child is more likely to have only one parent, not to have that parent around them too often, and be living in a poor condition, be exhausted and drugged, violence at any early age. So have an increased risk of getting into trouble. He may attend a proposed school, rarely have to encourage the additional assistance needed to do well. So he may never reach a college, finish high school, ended up uneducated at early parent with a low wage job. The cycle of poverty will continue the next generation. So if the I believe that truly is not equality of opportunity in the states. Okay, and the next one is standing up for a free enterprise system. So because in this in response in response a large unevenly distributed is much better than a small. Actually this is the thing, better for there to be inequality or a worst of person who to quotes the liquidity equity of everyone. We just have a one goat like that. I have given example for this, please go through that. Then adding compassion. Next one, how to structure your sales organization for success. So because your sales team structure is the foundation of your operation. So if the foundation is a weak, the entire sales process will suffer. As such, the way you design the structure, your sales organization can have a lasting consequences. With the most things, there is no one size fits all models for a sales team structures. So the key is to find one that align with your business current operations, objectives, and can move your team effectively into the futures. So they took the three common sales team models as well as the best practices for creating a successful organization. Okay, the models are follows. The first one is assembly line. Okay, so this means it is known as a hunter farmer model. Okay, it is one most common sales structure, particularly for small medium and medium sized businesses and startups. So this is the model. Each team member has a specific role or function within a sales cycles. So just an traditional manufacturing assembly, the strategy is to move through the sales cycle from lead generation this close to passing of task to a different sales members. So this structure will include following role or teams. So lead generation, sales development, closing, and customer success or account management. And the next one is strengths. Okay, strengths means assembly line design is a popular for a reason. So it's easy to understand and can work across multiple industries or products. So which is additionally the assembly line can improve efficiency, make it easier, identify issues along the pipeline, develop a high skill proficiency for a team members. And the next one is the limitations. So this limitation means the hunter farmer. Okay, so mainly because of each team works independently, the tracking sales merits is a challenge. So which is additionally between the salesperson can work against the business if it leads to a toxic sales environment. So depending on the industry business, this model can work in a large scale, but it also make a scaling business if difficult, as each person has an individual process or strategies. And the next one is the island. So island sales structure, I have given ideal, it is in a model. Okay, it is more straightforward sales organization structure. So there is an owner or a manager at the top which oversees multiple sales representative, so which is individually responsible for the each stage of sales process. And the next one is a POD. So this recommended by founder of Jaku Vendor Koji. Okay, this structure is becoming increasingly popular because particularly among SaaS organization. At the team level, the structure works similarly to an assembly line where each member of the group plays a specific role. So, however, instead of one large team. So, based on this, multiple groups, each task and selling to a particular set of customers. This is typically organized by industry, vertical geography, territory, and products. And the next one is strengths and limitations. We already seen. Okay, they are creating a culture of a success. So how you structure your sales organization will depend on your specific business market goals. So whatever model you chose, it is essential to imbue the organization with a culture that promotes high performances. So mainly clearly defined sales roles. So you can have an elegant sales structure, but if your team member don't understand their roles and responsibilities, your business will suffer. So, whatever model or approach you implement in your sales organization, make sure each person has a clearly defined role. So, whether they specified or are generalized with many responsibilities to prevent confusion, inefficiencies, and redundancies. So, one way to ensure everyone is the same page is to use it is a diagrammatic platform. So, not by documenting each step of sales process and managing, mapping key stakeholders and the individual roles, everyone can stay on the same page even in the times of change. And the next one is promote an environment of learning. So, this lack of training is one of the biggest problem facing sales organization today. In fact, according to Kurlan Associate, so as many as 3 out of 4 sales representative which they cannot execute. So by this chart is a powerful addition to the sales manager toolbox. A manager can use the chart on the board, new hires, train salesperson, representative on our new accounts more quickly and effectively. And sharing the features makes it easy to transfer knowledge between team members and departments. And the next one is structures. Okay, 8 components. The components of sales performance wheel. The first one is Salesforce structure. So this leaders must decide they will structure their sales force to capture maximum revenue or margin. So this sales force channels inside outside sales hybrid something else. So they also need to design roles including defining what sellers are supposed. So it's also critical to think about the sales force structure in light of the rest of the organization. And sales competition, this is the topic, okay, near this everyone's heart, because the leaders love to jump the sales competition to fix the problems. So while it is certainly a factor in sales force effectively, just one, still compensation has a major effect on how you can hire, who sales, who seller, do their levels of motivation and more. Then third one is territory design. The idea for most sales organization is to capture all available profitable revenue from the market. So the challenge is a few sales organizations have the footprint to cover all the available buyers. Leaders must apportion territories to help sellers find and win as much as profitable business as possible. So it is not as simple as assigning geographics. However, when it comes to territory design, leaders must consider industry expertise areas, which is to approach to strategic accounts, competition, and more. And fourth one is territory account and lead assignment. So the charge here is simply this: getting the right people assigned to the right territories, the accounts and leads who can deliver the most value and have the greatest success. So this one might seem simple, but it is one of the greatest challenges sales leaders face. So when your sales organization structure is a poor, it is difficult to attract to keep the right people, and you leave significant revenue growth opportunity in the market, which is untapped. Okay, so if you are looking to improve a sales performance, it is wise to consider if your sales organization structure is up to par. So, however, this business to business selling has two main go to market strategies: inbound, outbound. Okay, for inbound, when new prospects indicate that they are interested in your product services, and outbound means you proactively reach out the prospects to get them interested in your product and service. So, this is ideal strategy is inbound because the leads are aware of your company, product, service, and have some level of curiosity, but it does not happen overnight and takes a lot of efforts to get it going. So this outbound sales is the most common way to grow your business because it doesn't rely on initial interest from the markets. You can generate the results through your own team activity. And the next one, basic structure. Okay, basic structure of both these strategies. The first one is a prospecting lead generation, which is outbound and inbound. We already seen outbound means the lead is called, a visited, emailed, they indicated interest in talking, and inbound means this lead sign up online indicates interest in learning more about the products. Then second one is qualifying. So regardless of where the lead came from, okay, so you need to make sure they are capable of buying, getting value out of the products. So will they get a value of the products? Do they have a common traits in comparison to your best customers? They can afford it. Excuse me. And the next one is opportunity and closing. So opportunity means, are you speaking with the decision maker? Do they have all the information and objectives handled? Are they in a position to make informed buying decisions? Have you asked for the close, or do it yearly or often? So by this, this is why the coaching should be one of the critical functions of a sales manager. So because in fact the found of the time, which is in the sales of competency measures to those who receive this opportunity. Okay, and the closing. And the last one is a customer success. So customer success means 30, 60, 90 days later, okay, they are getting value out of the products. So by this, how can you help them improve? How can you help them to improve? So by this, a small company usually has one person handling all four steps in their own. As the company grows, you start to put people in the role of handle these specific stages. Because if the company is a big one, they can't handle, for a single person can't make it quickly. Okay. So by this class is over. We'll see you on with next class with the next topic. Take care all, and thank you.